Hey, we're back. No Bruce Buffer copyright infringement this week. What's up, everybody? It's your favorite duo here on the LoudMouth MMA Podcast Network. That's right, it's the Breakdown. And we are here to talk about UFC Ottawa this week. I'm your co-host, Max Friedman, trademark MMA to the Twitter world. And I got my man all the way in the Netherlands, the one, the only, Marcel Dorf. Big Marcel, happy Wednesday, my friend.
Happy Wednesday, brother. Yeah, man. Happy to be back on this one. And let's hope it's better than the last week, right? Let's get this thing going, man. I mean, gotta be right.
Yeah. You can never trust internet connections worldwide. I'm sure everyone has their struggles, but it's all good. We're back with a vengeance this week. Some big news coming out of my friend Big Marcel this week, and in the boys over at MMA DNA getting some good scoop. Why don't you let them know what's up?
Yeah, man. We got some sources confirmed that the UFC will hold an event, UFC 243, at the Bank West. Is it the Bank West Arena? Yeah,
Yeah.
in Australia, in Sydney. And yeah, I think pretty big one. October 6th local time. It's October 5th in the US. Um, yeah, I think a pretty big event with they targeting Adesanya against Whitaker for the title unification middleweight fight. So yeah, it's a great one. I have the feeling the Australians are not really happy with it because there's some what's that? So some sports event at the same day or something, and they're going
Yeah, I don't know
absolutely
what
crazy.
NRL stands for, but it is a big sporting event that day. But you bring up a good point. To the naysayers on Twitter questioning the credibility of MMA DNA, one of the best out there that truly do their due diligence on every single breaking news item. Go home, man. You guys can't come call into question one of the best out there. MMA DNA, some fine group of gentlemen over there. I don't know if you have any ladies on the team, so sorry if you do, but
Yeah.
great group of guys over there, do a great job, break tons of news, and every time they break news, they credit their sources, and even when they don't break news, they credit the ones that do break the news. So
I
those
only
naysayers out there, fall back.
I only can say this, like, listen, we confirmed it with sources. If it's not happened to be true, you can trash me all you want. There's no problem. I will take the full blame, you know. But as long as you can prove it's not true, don't act like I did something wrong or my guys did something wrong or guys, because we're just trying to break the news, and I think it's a fun scoop for many people. I mean, who doesn't want to see this fight in Australia, right?
And agreed. It's a great headlining fight. You mentioned the time difference, which clearly there's not going to be an overlap there. 2 years ago, the UFC put on an event in Houston during Super Bowl weekend. That was that Dennis Bermudez Korean Zombie card,
I remember.
and it was Saturday night versus Sunday, which was the Super Bowl. No problems whatsoever. It's happening, folks. Whether you like it or not, it's going to be an awesome fight. Robert Whitaker, Israel Adesanya, unify that middleweight belt.
Yeah,
All right.
just make it a sports weekend, guys. I mean, why not? You know?
The more the merrier. More
Yeah,
big events, the merrier. Just better, more business to the city of Sydney. Is it
yeah, Sydney.
Sydney? All right. Moving along here, let's go ahead and get into why we're here. We are the Breakdown on the Loudmouth MMA Podcast Network. We break down every UFC card, and this week we got UFC Fight Night Iaquinta versus Cowboy. UFC Fight Night 151, I believe. I know, Big Marcel, there's a little controversy out there given that last week's event may or may not have been a Fight Night numbered event. Also, UFC on ESPN Plus 9. I know Big Marcel loves when I call it that. But nonetheless, this will be headed to Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, May 4th, 2019 at the Canadian Tire Center. The whole entire event will be streamed on ESPN Plus. Before we dive into the fights, taking a look back last week at UFC Fort Lauderdale, and it was a big weekend for your boy. And that's not Eric Anders. That's your boy in front of you. Trademark MMA, a big weekend, 11-2 on the card. 2 bonuses. Got that Glover Teixeira performance of the night bonus and the fight of the night bonus with Mike Perry and Cowboy Oliveira. Also picked my underdog right for Glover Teixeira. Meanwhile, my confidant, Big Marcel, a respectable 9-4. but no bonuses. I'm catching up to you in those bonuses now. Only trail you by 3 in that category. 12-9 on the season in bonuses. We both have the same number of underdogs, and I do lead slightly in the overall standings. 95-67 to 91-71 for you.
I gotta say, man, congrats on that. But I got robbed with my fight of the night, man. Come on. I think Lineker against Sandhagen was better.
That was a heck of a fight too. I think it
Yeah.
could have gone either way.
Yeah, okay, let's keep it at that. But I want to come back on that numbering, man. I mean, how I mean the UFC, it was UFC at ESPN3 before, but how is it for you in America? Because that would have been the third televised main card this year, and they actually took that away from you guys. Do you know what's the reason?
Yeah, it was strange, and we talked about this last week that the main card was the only part that wasn't televised. Both sets of prelims were on TV. It was just the main card that was on ESPN Plus.
No clarification about it at all.
No,
That's weird,
sir.
man. That's weird. And I hate it because I edited everything on my website. 150 is 151, 151 is 152. ESPN4 is now ESPN3, and ESPN3 is now 150. So yeah.
The nerve of these people, Big Marcel. The nerve of those folks over at production for the UFC.
Don't let it happen again.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get started on the UFC Ottawa card. We kick things off at 135 pounds. Mitch Gagnon, talk about a return here. He takes on the newcomer Cole Smith. Gagnon, a -140 favorite. The comeback on the newcomer Smith, +100. Gagnon, that recent trend of guys ending the long layoffs continues, and it will have been nearly 2.5 years since his 2016 fight with Matthew Lopez. And before that fight, he had a 2-year layoff, too. I saw something interesting on Twitter today. Ronda Rousey and Dominic Cruz have both fought since Mitch Gagnon last stepped foot in the cage.
Crazy.
I just hate that layoff. One fight in the last 4.5 years. I mean, a prime Mitch Gagnon was something to get excited about, but you got to think there's going to be some octagon rust here. Meanwhile, newcomer Cole Smith, short notice fight here, replaces Brian Kelleher, undefeated guy. The Cole train, he's 6-0, pretty big for the weight class, almost 6 foot for a 135 pounder. Not sure if Cole Smith has fought someone like the level of competition he'll face in Gagnon, but he does face Gagnon on a massive layoff. Big Marcel, what are your thoughts here?
Gagnon hasn't had a win since 2014 against Ramon Salazar, I think, who is non-combative. Cole Smith, he has the win streak. I would like you said, he is long. He probably has a reach advantage. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, man, I like Cole Smith in this one. I think Mitch Gagnon has too long of a layoff. Wasn't impressive before his layoff, in my opinion, and yeah, this is pretty much. I take Cole Smith in this one, and I have actually no doubt Cole Smith will take this one.
Yeah, I'm taking Cole Smith too. I know he's only 6-0, but signed for a reason, and like the size difference, and just hate that layoff for Mitch Gagnon here. How's Smith getting it done for you, Big Marcel?
Probably by a TKO in the second round.
TKO. All right, I'll take Smith on a decision here.
Okay.
We go to heavyweight. Arjun Singh Bowler taking on Juan Adams, the chosen Juan, the Kraken. Interesting movement on this betting line. Bowler opening up as a -150 favorite, now up to a +110 underdog. On the flip side, Adams originally a +110, now up to -150. Bowler more experienced in this one. He's 8-1 overall, 2-1 in the UFC. Was submitted by Adam Vicherick, that what was it, an omoplata, but is coming off a decision win over Marcelo Golm. I like what Arjun Singh Bowler is doing, marketing himself with his background and his heritage. I know he's at American Kickboxing Academy working with DC now. Adams, we know, very athletic heavyweight, but still very green in the process. Fights out of Houston. He cross-trains at a lot of places down there, but he also does some work out in Colorado with Curtis Blades. 5-0 overall, only out of the first round once. Had an impressive and that one time was in his UFC debut, win over Chris De La Roca. Division I wrestler, still very much rounding out his game, but comfortable landing that ground and pound on top. Big Marcel, how do you see this one playing out? I wonder if Big Marcel has froze on his screen because I'm not hearing him, but I'll go ahead and give my take. Adams, I could see having success on if he's able to get Bowler down to the ground. Bowler, I believe, might be an Olympic level wrestler, perhaps. Not quite sure on that. I'll have to check the stats there. But Juan Adams, somewhat impressive in his UFC debut. Came to the UFC via the Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. The win over Sean Teed there. If he can get this fight to the ground and stay on top, where he does have a size advantage, I think he could get it done. If he does not, that's where we run into a potential issue.